recording.
Cool.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Warm-ups.
Let's get ready.
You know, shake off the cobwebs. Shake off the cobwebs.
It's been less than a week since we did last time we
Yeah.
did on
Last time
Friday.
we did Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I have a 3-day weekend this week. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like,
Really? How come you have why it's 3 days?
I worked an extra shift the other like a couple weeks ago, so like it just pushed it forward. So yeah, I'm off Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I don't know.
So you'd have a hangover for after Super Bowl.
I don't even want to.
Are you gonna watch the Super Bowl? I don't know if I am.
I love ads, so I'll probably do that and hang out with people.
I always forget the ads are actually something you want to watch this time.
Yeah, sometimes movies, some really cool movies.
Why can't they always be good? Like they should always just make good ads all the time.
No, I mean, no, the thing is, it's like you want to save your best ads for when lots of people are paying attention, you know? You know, just like, you know, you gotta shine up your apple and put them in the front.
Put your shiniest apples on display.
Yeah, on the front, just like your goodies in the front.
Put your goodies in the front and you shake it all up.
Okay. That is not how anything goes.
Let's begin. Okay, you're more the authority on Yahoo, so I'm gonna be asking you questions, but you're gonna be the spiritual guide of the discussion. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And here we go in 3, 2. Welcome everybody to the 35th episode of Tech Laundry. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Tertius.
And as you can see behind me, it is laundry day for me. There's
okay, no one can tell the difference between that, like a regular like day for you or laundry day. It's just that's what it looks like. That's just how you live, and it's not okay.
Oh no, I like it. I like living in a little rat's nest. It's kind of charming, charming and unique. It literally is. That is clean laundry. I didn't plan that at all for Tech Laundry to happen to fall on the same day I do laundry. But how about that tie-in? Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I mean, like synergy. It's synergy. That's what it's called. You know,
who doesn't love a little bit of synergy?
It's you know, it's how we do, man. It's how we do. Multitasking and just having a ball. Having a ball.
It's like that Queen song. So, in personal news, if I do say so myself, because I can talk about it now that I've officially signed the papers, I have been hired in the tech and product section at BuzzFeed.
What?
And I will be starting next week. I'm very excited because I get to actually finally get my hands on technology. I get to talk more about some weird stuff that will be going on.
Do you know anything about technology?
Not at all. None. It was a complete fluke that I got hired. Don't know anything about technology.
Yeah. You don't even know English, for crying out loud. Like
barely. And I slur my words. I talk too quickly. And now that I say that, I'm going to think about everything that I'm saying slowly and just enunciate properly. But we know that won't happen.
Properly. Go talk properly.
No, actually, there was like history about that British people used to talk how the American accent is, and they changed once we broke away from the colonies to be different from us. That's what I've heard. So
okay, see, these are one of those things that you got to show me like some evidence because I do not believe you.
I'll check out some notes on that. So that's so I'm excited. So I'm really excited. I was a long process. Stressful, but it happened, and I'm very proud and very excited. I start next week.
So what will you be doing?
So what I'm going to be doing is basically reviewing products. I don't know how in depth I will go into talking about the full thing, as I haven't gotten the full gist of what the job is. I mean, I do, but I don't. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
The general idea is that I'm going to basically get products and I'm going to review them, and I'm going to help create content and expand content for their Facebook page, which is called Game Changer. So I'll be working on that. So you'll probably be seeing a lot of tweets from me talking about some stuff that has to do with that kind of stuff. Hopefully it'll be interesting.
Also, What? Because I was like, Jeff, you should start sending me some products, not for me to review, but for me to play with.
So you know who gets a lot of so I didn't know this, but I was
Mhm.
talking to one of the interviewers in New York, and she said, I was like, do you guys get like sent products? And she's like, all the time. Like we get so many products that we can't, like it's not efficient for us to ever actually go through like all the
Yeah.
packages and sort through it. I'm like, that's insane. Like, I mean, it makes sense because you're like, if you're working for a company, you're like, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna send this. If they do review it, that's awesome. We win. And
Yeah, because
costs us
it would be really cheap publicity.
yeah, cheap publicity. I'm like, I guess that makes sense, but I just can't imagine just seeing the sea of boxes and like packages and just walking into that room.
That
Like
sounds like heaven for me.
that, I love unboxing stuff, man. Actually, I started getting into unbox therapy on YouTube.
Yeah,
And
no, he does a really good job, like really good lighting. He has a really good personality for it. Yeah, it's nice. He has like the knife. It's good.
yeah, and it feels like he's actually just like, I don't know what I'm opening, but it's gonna happen. Like he
Yeah.
has a general idea, but sometimes it's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna open
Yeah.
this.
He also does like the does it suck thing. He reviews like really cheap tech, and yeah, it's good stuff.
I do like that. Yeah, I watched the I think it was a $15 smartwatch. He's like,
Oh yeah.
not bad. I was like,
yeah, it's like for $15. Like
yeah, who would
it
want
does, and like the really terrible ringtone.
Yeah, really awesome. Oh man.
So yeah, really, really awesome news for you,
Yeah.
Jeff. Like, so where is it located?
So it's located in San Francisco. I'll be working in the San Francisco offices. So I'll be commuting. I'll be one of the people on BART actually having to go to work in the morning hella early because let me tell you, parking at BART, it's gonna be the worst. So it means I have to get there extra early and do all that stuff. So it means I actually have to have a normal sleep schedule now. I can't just get away with
So basically, what you're telling me is the Jeff I know and love, the guy who does not know how to sleep with the right kind of like, just does not have a good sleep schedule. He's going away.
He's going away. He's becoming an adult. He's flourishing and blooming into a full-fledged tax-paying adult.
Oh
Not
man.
that I didn't pay taxes.
Yeah, I was just like,
But-
we were just talking about doing our taxes the other day.
Oh my God. Dude, I have to do taxes, and like I got all my forms in for my clients, and I'm like, oh no, like,
Oh man. No, you're gonna pay.
I'm gonna try and write off as much as I can because I'm like, well, I purchased equipment to make
Yeah,
for my
Of course.
job.
Just as long
And,
as you have like like the documentation, or I'll still come after you.
I'll
Yeah.
have to, you will? You're
Huh?
gonna come
No,
after
no, no, no. The government.
Oh, the government.
They will. They're listening, man. They're listening.
They're always
It's funny because like everything we buy is basically for work, but it's still stuff that makes us happy when we buy it.
yeah, it's for work, but really,
Really. It's just like it's something that we both want and will make us money. So it's just like I feel like that's just the way to go. That's just the way to go.
I'm okay with that. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a call on my phone there. So let's start with the top story.
Big story.
Base story. Which one are we doing first? I forgot.
We're doing Yahoo, Jeff. We're doing Yahoo.
Okay, so Yahoo is in a bit of a pickle, as it were.
I mean, they've been in a bit of a pickle for like the past few years or so, like since like the early 2010s. That's it's like if you like look back at Yahoo's history, they're like basically kind of like they started at the same time as Google and Ask Jeeves and all that. Like that's when all of these big search engines came out. They all came out at the same time. Some companies got extremely gigantic and like have become like giant like companies that like are like the most valuable companies in the world. Like what's that company called that like has those phones?
That has that one company with the phones,
with those phones and the fiber and like the drones and the driverless cars. Yeah, there's that company started off the same time as Yahoo, but Yahoo has been having a hard time kind of evolving and kind of becoming it's weird to say like an internet company needs to like get with the times or kind of move forward because it's weird because when you think about like businesses, I'm like, oh, if it's an internet company, it must be like kind of fashion forwardy kind of thing. But with Yahoo, it's weird.
It is, and let me tell you, I've had a long history with Yahoo. Okay, not that long,
Okay.
but like as like a kid, like okay, so like the first ever email address I got was from altavista.com.
Oh, Alta Vista?
av.com, man. And like that was actually a pretty sweet domain if you think about it. They had 2 characters for their
Yeah.
search engine. And then because a friend of mine was like, dude, you should totally get an email address. I felt so like secretive and like sneaky by having my own email address and like not telling my parents.
Really?
Like, oh, I got an email address. Like,
What was
I
your
didn't, like,
first email address?
oh, I think it was called Short Stuff 06 or something. I don't know
I
why it
was-
was called Short Stuff. I mean, I was like a kid.
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure.
Was that like was that like a nickname for you or something? Did people
I
call
don't
you
really
Short
know.
Stuff?
I think someone might have just like said that and I'm like, oh, that's kind of like it's a good moniker. I'll go
Oh
by
man.
that.
I was an AOL kid.
I always wanted to be an AOL kid.
And I was Millennia Dragon.
Millennia Drag, just
Yeah.
no numbers, just
No, Millennia Dragon. Yeah, that was just terrible.
man.
It was like, have I ever like sounded that Asian in my entire life?
But it makes you feel so badass when you're online at the time.
Does it though? Yeah.
I couldn't.
I
I mean,
This was in like the 99s too, so keep that in mind.
did someone ever have to like? You're like, oh yeah, it's Millennia Dragon. Like, how do you spell Millennia? I have to like think. Millennia. Like, if I was a kid, I'd be like, I'm not gonna email you. Nope.
Yeah.
Mm. And my second, so following up to that.
Yeah, so go continue with your like Yahoo life.
So Yahoo was like the big deal, and like I used to go to Yahoo, like Yahoo Games, Yahoo chat rooms, and there's like a whole portal for things, and you just go to this one site.
Yep.
You can kind of enjoy all their content in one place. And their mail system at the time was pretty good. To this day, I think actually recently, up until recently, Yahoo Finance was great. People swore by it. They're like Yahoo doesn't have anything that's appealing to me except finance, and they loved it. And then they updated it recently, and everybody's like, this is like a UX disaster. So Yahoo, they haven't innovated as much. They've acquired properties like Flickr and Tumblr, anything that ends with an R, it seems. And those were good ideas, I think. Like Flickr was like, I was like, oh damn, that's
it seems like it was like purchasing like kind of sites that were kind of really hip a year or two ago. So it's strange. Oh, by the way, on a strange note, Yahoo Games has been shut down, Jeff.
What? That was like the only other thing we used. There's no reason to do anything now.
Yahoo Games, which basically was like kind of this online hub that had, it had like free games and stuff, right?
You could play like chess and like checkers.
Yeah,
and
like stuff like that. You can play with your friends and all that. It was ad supported. Well, it's dead after 13 years of serving nerds like Jeff. It is gone. It was actually just recently announced, as in. It was announced this morning.
Oh man, this is a developing story we're talking about now.
Yeah, no. Like again, like this is like part of the larger story with Yahoo. Okay, so the big story with Yahoo is the fact that they're starting to. Okay, this is what they said. The board of Yahoo will engage in quote unquote engage on qualified strategic proposals on like they're thinking about selling its websites and email and its online search. So like the very kind of nuts and bolts of what you think Yahoo is, they're trying to sell. So this is where it gets confusing because when I think of Yahoo, I think search engine and mail, right?
Yeah, that's about all I can think of. And
what's left? Like, I don't know what else is left of Yahoo other than, like, I know it has a lot of different assets, like, what you were mentioning before, like Tumblr and all that, but all those are getting sold. So what will remain after they sell off all these things?
Just a skeleton crew of something. Yeah, and that's kind of a big thing. They've tried to become a more I don't know. I have no idea what their aim is. Like I started in search engine and I've never heard, like, the only big search engines are gonna be like Bing, Google.
Okay, nobody uses Bing. Don't even joke.
Some people use Bing. They use Bing very particularly for pornography. They love it for porn.
Really? I thought.
Yeah.
Why is that a thing?
I think the way that Bing formats like video searches is actually very easy to browse. So if you're looking for something particular, they enjoy that. That's the only thing that people say. Like, some people like swear by Bing. Go figure. Other than that, there's Bing, Google, and there's a third one. I'm sure. I just have to think about it.
Oh, I mean, like,
I mean, DuckDuckGo comes to mind, but that's not.
but that's a search. It's not a search engine, is it?
It's a search engine.
I thought it was a browser.
It's for like privacy. It's
yeah,
privacy
it's like that's the one that doesn't. Yeah.
Like track you and stuff.
Yeah, there's the main three are Yahoo, Bing, and Google.
Yeah, those are the main ones. Unless you're counting like really particular engines like Wolfram Alpha for like analytic stuff or for doing like stuff like that. And I love Wolfram Alpha. I used to use it all the time in school. Try to solve something or graph something out really fast, or like you can like type in your first name on Wolfram Alpha and it'll tell you like the general like average age of the person who has that name should be. And like when the most like it'll show you like birth rates of like people who have your name. So like, oh, your name was really popular in the 60s or whatever.
See, that's fun when your name is Jeff and not when your name is Tertius.
Yeah, your name's gonna be in like the negative log level. It'll just be like so,
it's just when I search my name, it's just a sad face.
Just a frag, yeah, small. Like, it's in a power.
Okay, so one of their so they are planning on selling off some of its properties. I've been reading a lot about Yahoo, and there's like a lot of talk about selling stuff, buying eBay to try to kind of go that Amazon route and kind of find a kind of shopping experience format for it. But one of the big stories is the fact that one of the plans is that like they are gonna lay off 15% of its workforce. That's like around 1,600 jobs, and so that they would cut expenses by $400 million. That's a lot of people.
And by layoffs, you mean remixes, right? Because that was their internal word for layoff was, we're remixing people, and I'm like, that's the worst mixtape I've ever heard. So
that was just stupid.
That was just dumb. So like, let's say Yahoo like somehow like gets even like they lay off all these like they lay off a bunch of people, they try to stabilize, like where's there to go from there? Because it's been a long time. There's been a few stories I've read last year that were like, Yahoo's going through like kind of what they call a brain drain, where talent's basically leaving Yahoo and going to other companies.
Well, like the face of Yahoo right now is Marissa Mayer. So Marissa Mayer came into Yahoo in I think 2012, like kind of summer or spring of 2012, and she was like a big wig at Google. She was like an executive. She was a usability leader and like a key spokesperson for Google. So they brought her in like too much, like how like when everyone's talking about like diversity in technology, she was kind of like this kind of glowing person for it, because here's a woman heading up a really big company with a giant paycheck to boot, and it's like, oh, woo, that's awesome, and she was gonna save the company. 3 or 4 years have gone by. It's not really much better. In fact, it's a lot worse. She's been criticized a lot for her management stuff, like some decisions she's made. So a lot of people are saying that she's on her way out too. Like, so it's just, there's no good news. Like, that's the thing. I've been like scouring for good news about this story. It's just I can't find any.
Yeah, exactly. And I think another thing about Marissa Mayer is that she has a very lucrative contract.
Yeah, she also has a really awesome golden parachute.
Yeah, like if they fire her, it costs the company more to fire her than to keep her. If you think of it like that, it's there's a huge like fine involved if she gets fired.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. It's in the millions though. It's some insane number. I mean, let's think, like, do you think Yahoo can become cool? Like when I think Yahoo, I don't know if that's like, is that a tarnished name now?
For me, it kind of is, because when I think of Yahoo, I think of the company that won't let me use my Google email to log into fantasy football.
So people that's another thing. Yeah, fantasy football, fantasy sports. People love Yahoo fantasy sports stuff.
Yeah. But I don't want to have to make my own Yahoo email address.
they also recently, like, what I've done is that I've exported. They finally allowed you, like a few years
Mhm.
back, to like export all of your old mail from Yahoo and then import it
Mhm.
into Gmail, and you can actually, I think you could do forwarding now from it, but it took them a long ass time, Yahoo, to do that. 'Cause I was on that. Um, where was I going with this? I don't quite remember.
I have no idea where you're going.
I don't know where I was going
You
with
just
this.
started going.
I think I was just ranting. I was just going
No,
off
no,
on
no.
like
Okay. So I was talking about how can
Yahoo.
Yahoo be cool again? I mean, Yahoo is. It just feels like it's stuck in the past. Whenever I think of Yahoo, I think of those yodeling commercials in like the early 2000s.
Yahoo.
Exactly.
Those are
I
good.
think of like this really kind of messy homepage. I think about how terrible the news is. It's like I don't know if I'm correct in saying this, but they were kind of this weird forefront of garbage news and clickbait. You're just like,
Really?
yeah. My mom always uses. My mom is, I think, one of the few people I know who is like one of those Yahoo people. She totally uses Yahoo News. She uses the Yahoo search engine. She uses the Yahoo email app.
Huh.
Yeah, and she always sends me like stupid articles, and I'm all like, this is just useless. But I don't know what Yahoo can do to make it cool again. I mean, like, whenever a company tries to be cool again, it never works. I remember when MySpace tried to become cool again, and like they put Justin Timberlake and all that. It was gonna be like your space for music. That shit
Yeah.
died. Nobody freaking touched it.
It was too little too late. Like Facebook, everybody was like, there was like times where like people were jumping from social network to social network because MySpace was just crashing and
Yeah.
burning. And everybody's like, well, we'll try Facebook. And they're like, well, what's gonna be after Facebook? Nothing, because Facebook constantly innovates and is like
Mhm.
just aggressively moving into every space they can. So
Yeah.
they maintain this thing.
Yeah, they make it very necessary for Facebook to be in your life.
Yeah. And like Facebook's doing a lot of like new stuff. Like they're trying to do this whole
Mhm.
like the internet.org, which I don't necessarily agree with their whole. I don't think they should call it internet.org because it's not. It's only what they approve to be the internet that's going to be sent to people. The idea is that you're going to kind of expose people in third world countries and give them internet or access to the internet, and
Yeah.
it'll actually specific services that they'll be giving it.
Yeah, I mean,
Which
there's
is,
like a bunch of net neutrality stuff that goes with that, doesn't it?
yeah, it's kind of that, and I'm just like they're like kind of posing it as like, oh, I mean, they might have. I think they might have changed it. I think they call it free basic now instead of
Mhm.
that, but still, they're very like like, oh, we're doing this for the good of mankind, and I'm like, you are and you're not. You're kind of you're. I don't know. I
See,
don't know how I feel about it.
there's a lot of good that comes with that, but it's also one of those like it's good, but you're only giving us a slice of what we really want and should have.
Yeah, like it should just like if you're gonna give them the internet, give them everything, not just like what you believe to be
Mhm.
approved and okay for them to use.
I mean,
Um,
that's the thing. Sometimes like Facebook isn't doing that just because to be dicks about it. Like a lot of problems that happened in terms of the internet, and don't forget like the United States is a very progressive, very liberal when it comes to like free speech and accessibility to information. Places like countries in Africa, the Middle East, not very open to kind of this open kind of source product. It's just like they want to
sure.
control the content that their people kind of view. So it's it's not necessarily just a Facebook thing. It's kind of just it's a general kind of it's a bigger problem than
Yeah,
what you're making it out to be.
bigger problem. And there's
Yeah.
whoa, sorry, the Hangout's kind of like glitched out there for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of sides and there's a lot of like back and forth. And like, well, is
Yeah.
it better than not having any internet? Like, well,
See,
probably not. Yeah,
not no. That's the thing. So it's always like very gray. Like, of course, it's better to have this, but it's also not enough.
yeah. But going back to, and this is why Yahoo, like, this is interesting
Yeah.
because like
No.
Facebook did something very controversial, like, like,
Yeah.
oh, that's interesting.
Like, when's the last time you think? Okay, do you remember Yahoo doing something interesting? For me, the last time I heard about Yahoo doing something interesting was when they were gonna, when they kind of bought the rights to make the new episodes of Community.
Hmm.
You remember that?
I don't remember that. I did not know that.
Like, look it up.
Huh.
It's like they would premiere episodes on their website, and like it would be part of their kind of streaming service.
I
And
just oh, keep going.
then like that's the thing. Did you ever hear about Yahoo having a streaming service?
Vaguely,
Yeah.
and I
It's,
never had to use it to get to any of their content.
yeah, exactly. It's just like Yahoo seems like there's a lot of things about Yahoo, but you don't really know about it, and they don't really have they never really did a good job of kind of telling people about it. I guess just their penetration is not quite there.
They're very good at having very specific things.
Mhm.
So when you have things like Tumblr, like I remember what that was the last big news I remember about Yahoo
Yeah.
was like, oh yeah, Tumblr. They acquired Tumblr, and then a lot of people were like, is Yahoo going to censor some of the content on Tumblr now?
Mhm.
And it's kind of going that whole thing. So Tumblr was, I think, a good acquisition.
No,
And
was it though? Because they bought it for quite a bit. So look up how
they bought it
much.
for a lot of money.
Yeah,
I
but
haven't
then now
seen.
they're valuing it for a quarter of what they bought it for. The thing is, okay, never forget that every product that Yahoo purchases, every program, every website, it has to, in the end of the day, make money or get viewers. And Tumblr, it seemed like a very niche kind of, blogging platform.
I used to use Tumblr back in the day before it was cool. I liked it because it was just a really lightweight blogging engine.
Mhm.
And that
As
was like,
opposed to like WordPress.
yeah, and WordPress is like a complete monster now. It's like a website in a box, and it's like way too much for what most people need.
Mhm.
And then Tumblr kind of became a big, it's all about reblogging, and you're like sharing all these things, and there's like a definite community there. Like it's very solid community. Like I know a lot of people who still use Tumblr, and they just that's their feed. That's how they get news and like creative ideas and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I think despite maybe Tumblr not being completely good at generating profit, I think it's a good acquisition to make them look a little better. Things the same thing with like Flickr. I think Yahoo's very good at acquiring and having very specific properties. They're good at doing very small, like specific things. Or like finance used to be good at the time,
Mhm.
or like finally like for fantasy, um, fantasy sports stuff. So I think they're just gonna have to like strip down the company and kind of maybe just
I mean, that's what
refocus on
they're
just
doing. Yeah, they're looking for the next big step. But the
yeah.
thing is, what isn't a crowded space now?
Yeah, and to play catch up with Google is just not really an option. I don't think at all. So
It's
they're
like,
gonna,
let's start with like, hiking a hill before we climb the highest freaking mountain on another planet.
yeah. So good luck with that. Hopefully something good comes out of this. Like maybe like I feel bad because I'm like, oh, you have to like lay off all these people. But at the same time, like maybe this is the right thing that they need to do and take it in the right direction, or maybe it'll just get the whole
Okay, but
company will just get parted out to everybody.
again, like from what I said about my mom, like Yahoo's homepage, it still has viewers. It still has a lot of viewers. Whether or not, that's enough in the end, we'll see. But I
Yeah.
really hope this. I really hate seeing a company just like wither and die and get split up and kind of. I mean, it's the same. Like I've heard this kind of like, oh, we're gonna engage in kind of strategic positioning with like our products. That's what giant newspaper corporations did and sold off newspapers and laid off staff. That's the exact same thing. So I kind of understand what that feels like.
Let me ask you this:
Mm.
if Yahoo like contacted you was like, hey, come work for Yahoo News as like your whatever your dream job would be, would you do it? Would you take it? Would you
Oh,
go work for Yahoo?
oh. Where was I in my life? Am I like,
like
do I have a job and I'm happy and I'm stable? And it would be like, oh, there's more money here.
your current situation in life right now.
Working Yahoo?
Yeah.
It would be I feel like I would, to be quite honest. You know why? Because I think I work really well when it's shitty.
I kind of get you. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're working with like a scrappy crew, or you're like,
Yeah.
like,
When you're like really, when you really have room to grow, when you really have like nothing left to lose attitude, some of that is really energizing. And some of that is just like, we're gonna just Yeah, no, with Yahoo, I feel like I'm sure they have really talented, smart people out there, and I really hope the best for them. But just, man, they have an uphill battle, and if they were like, "You want to fight this with us?" I'm like, hell yeah, I would. I would wear that purple
Huh.
shirt. I would wear it proud.
And people are like, oh, you worked for Yahoo, like you were in the war. Like he worked for Yahoo. He survived. He got through it, man.
You just see me like
Something.
twitching.
Yeah, it's kind of like working for the Orion. If I remember. It's an inside joke. It's a
uh,
newspaper for Chico, student-run newspaper of Chico State. We both went there. And let me tell you, if you've seen the Orion lately, it's
okay, I just what sucks is the fact that everybody like privately messages me about that because they don't want to call them out publicly, and I'm all like, you guys, okay, like I'm not the designated Orion hater over here. And here's my biggest beef is the fact that people confuse criticism with hate.
yeah, yeah, no, I mean, because like they're not.
Yeah, it's just like the thing is with this is my experience with college journalism is they like to butter you up. Everybody like kind of pushes each other to feel good about themselves, but no one actually looks critically at how they can improve. And I felt this way when I won like a third place award one time, and I was like, but I never heard any bad reviews for my work. Why the hell did I get third place? And I was like, if I got criticism, if I got actually solid criticism, I feel like I would have done better. So I'm like doing what I thought someone should do for me. Like, and if they ever ask me like, hey, what can we do better? I'm like, hell yeah, here's how I can help. But no, it's just always Church is a dick. Wow, this is way off tangent. Damn it, Jeff.
Anyhow, that's
Damn it, Jeff.
it's very inside baseball stuff, but
It's not even baseball. None of those people.
it's not even baseball.
There are no balls involved in journalism.
Just to give a little background, the student-run newspaper became kind of like a tabloidy.
It's a
like,
tabloid.
Tabloid.
Okay, so it went from a standard broadsheet to a tabloid style, so it looks more like a weekly, kind of alternative weekly
like a
magazine.
news and review, kind of like ooh.
Yeah. Like, cool guy. Yeah, it is.
It was a big change from
Yeah.
what the history of it had been, and
it kind of makes you sad because like when you're a newspaper, it's just like that broadsheet. It's just that's your pride and joy, man. You're not trying to be hip or cool. You're trying to just that's journalism. It's like that broadsheet, but
it's so classy.
Yeah, it really is. But vertical design, there's lots of limits to vertical design. So, hey, that's what I said, man. Good luck.
Good luck, guys. We'll see
Good
how
luck.
it turns out.
It's terrible.
So let's move on to a different topic.
Something more lighthearted because that was a bummer, Jeff. Like Yahoo is a bummer.
Hyperloop.
Oh my God, we're talking about this guy again. Remember Jeff's favorite guy, Elon Musk? Jeff's favorite freaking guy.
Every other week we always talk about him.
No, we talked about him last week, didn't we?
Did we?
I'm pretty sure. Okay, Jeff.
Weeks now.
What's the new Musk news?
So, for those not in the loop, for those not in the loop.
Nerd shit.
So good. I'm just gonna read the Wikipedia short,
oh my God,
definition because I don't know how to define it properly.
Okay, go ahead.
The Hyperloop is a conceptual high-speed transportation system originally put forward by entrepreneur Elon Musk, incorporating reduced pressure tubes in which pressurized capsules ride on air cushion driven by linear induction motors and air compressors. Whew. So smooth. So you're riding
rolls off the tongue.
You're riding on air compressing.
Basically, you're in a tube and you're going really fast because of technology.
You're going really, really fast. And so this idea was proposed like way long ago, not long ago. It was like 2013. And he threw out these plans and he's like, we could totally build this. Someone should do that. And he just left that. And then people kind of thought about it, like, can we do this? Is this too sci-fi? Is this too futuristic? And then they actually started to take it seriously and they got funding. And they are currently building a test track out here. It's California? I think it's in California. It's California, Nevada.
Texas. Okay.
One of those two. So finally got funding to see if this idea is even feasible.
Hmm.
So they're going to build it out, and they have essentially had kind of an X or SpaceX thing around the Hyperloop. So we're like, SpaceX is like, oh, can we build reusable like rocket? This is all about what capsule, how would the Hyperloop work the best? Like you have to build a capsule inside this vacuum tube, and you have to make sure that the speeds are going to be insane. Like you're going like what 700 miles? I think it was like some insane, yeah, 760 top speed of 760 miles per hour. Good lord, so that is insanely fast.
As compared to the bullet train, how quickly does the bullet train go?
Like bullet train hits like
Is it 200?
200 tops
Which
probably.
is
Yeah,
still really fast.
it's like it's fast, and like you're talking about like distance, like if you're going in like if you're in Japan's not a very big country. Bullet train will get you across the country
That's
like
like
quick.
that is like the most overseaman ever. Japan
Like,
is a tiny. It's not a big country. It's like a bunch of small islands.
yeah, it's a bunch of small islands, and I got it. You can like, it's funny because like I remember when I was in Korea. Korea's just like it's a tiny peninsula, and it's also
Mhm.
kind of half the peninsula because you can only drive in
Yeah,
South Korea.
yeah,
And you can drive across it in like less than a day, like couple hours, like maybe like 3 hours, like 3-4 hours, like drive
yeah,
up to the line and back down to the ocean,
yeah,
and then like you're like, oh well, that would only get you to like halfway to LA. From like San Francisco. Like, God,
yeah,
it's insane.
yeah.
So the reason I bring that up is because the US is freaking huge. A lot of people forget that, this is a whole
No, no,
continent
no.
to ourselves. And we need to figure out a way to create this fifth, is what they're calling it, way of transporting things.
Mhm.
So Hyperloop will revolutionize not just passenger travel, but it will revolutionize how we do logistics for like packages, and how we do
Mhm.
delivery of like raw goods and stuff like that.
Okay. The thing is, people always kind of knows when they think of shipping, they always think, oh, the FedEx bus just over there, or or their mailman.
Yeah,
They don't realize a lot of the products come in like giant barges from China or stuff like that, or trains. That's how most of our packages come in from like trains if it's in the continental US or in giant barges from out of states. They're not there's no one little FedEx bus just like going over there.
yeah, just
It's
delivering
either
just
yeah,
your package for
no,
you.
it's either trains or planes, like cargo planes or giant barges. So Hyperloop moving that quickly, man, imagine the possibilities. Imagine just it's bonkers. Seriously, think about this way. Okay, so we're using the kind of analogy of Korea and like the bullet train and all that stuff. In California, it takes me 10 hours to go from Chico, which is kind of like pretty north of California, to LA. And with the Hyperloop, what is that? Maybe an hour's worth of time?
Yeah, maybe even
Like,
less than that. Probably, if you're
yeah,
talking directly, yeah, at that
yeah.
same speed, that'd be insane. It'd probably be less than an hour.
And like that's the thing. It takes and then like it was such a huge shift for me when I started taking the plane from Sacramento to LA. It was an hour and a half, and it's magic. It's sheer magic. And to imagine, but to apply that on a kind of like a ground level with packaging and like products, it'll be a huge step forward for just how we ship things, and in terms of how much energy we consume in terms of shipping things. It's
True, and
ridiculous.
oil consumption. Like you have a huge ship like moving a package like through the. I don't know if you've ever seen like a container ship, but they're insane. They're
Yeah,
huge.
yeah,
And another idea would be that you could like, oh, you could build this underwater if we wanted to, and have like a loop to China and back. That would reduce a lot of the transportation costs that we would
yeah.
have.
Yeah,
So
like Jeff, you and I have both ordered products from China. We both know how long it takes.
it takes ages, especially for ordering off Deal Extreme. It can take like a month, probably, generally, as soon as we get everything
Generally,
caught up on anything.
it's just like enough for you to forget that you ordered something.
Yeah, and then when you get like, oh, you get all pleased, you're like, oh, maybe I
Oh,
like this because I forgot about it.
how about that? How about that?
So the recent development is that yeah, it's coming together, and what's really interesting is that Reddit, one of my favorite sites of all time,
I didn't
came.
get into it, Jeff. Did I tell you? I
I
have it on my
I'm gonna
phone.
stop talking about it. And I was like, okay, it's not for everybody, but for some, it's kind of their whole entire life, like it is mine. Uh, uh, so Reddit came together to to crowdsource the development of their own hyperloop
Hyperloop.
pod, and they have like video up on it, and so it's this whole program for SpaceX for Hyperloop started up, and people have been coming up with different ideas, different universities designing new different types of pods that would
Uh-huh.
hypothetically work with a full scale Hyperloop when they build it out. This is all going to happen this year. We will find out.
Yeah, this idea is moving quickly.
It's moving quickly, and I didn't expect it to even get this far in development because it was like,
I don't even think Elon Musk thought it was gonna go anywhere.
yeah, he didn't. He was just like, yeah, he said his quote, "I'm starting to think this is really going to happen," end quote. He didn't think, he was like, this is a cool idea, someone should build it, and then just forgot. It just did his thing.
Just
And then
like,
he's
just
like,
like, oh, I'm just gonna focus on this like space travel.
yeah, and like space travel is cool, and like building cars is cool. But
I don't know,
this
man.
is,
The idea of like the Hyperloop is so much more exciting to me than flying in space. I don't know why. Because I think
it
it's
is,
just so much more real world in terms of
it's more
like
practical.
application. Yeah. It's like more
Yeah.
practical application in terms of shipping, in terms of transportation, in terms of just catching up to the Japanese.
I know that they were trying to build, if it's still happening, they're going to build like a
High-speed
high-speed
rail.
rail from LA to San Francisco.
Yeah. I mean, that's still a thing that's happening, but like, by the time it gets, that's how slow governments move, and that's how just slow everything
Yeah.
moves.
There's a
But
lot of, because like the logistics is that like
it's red tape.
you need to like buy land to put the
Yeah.
track on, and you have to do all these things.
I miss the
so-
days when government could just seize your property. Remember that? Good times.
Good times, and then everybody chipped in, with scrap metal during the war.
Yeah, and they're all like just like hitting the rails.
Those were the days, yeah. And like the train would like slowly move across it to keep the pace going, to keep the train moving.
What are we even talking
I don't
about?
know. I've never lived in those days at all. I just remember seeing them in like history
You're
books.
literally gonna work in BuzzFeed.
Yeah, I'm gonna work at BuzzFeed. Can you believe that, guys?
That
Can you
is the
believe that?
most millennial thing I've ever like said. Jeff, you're gonna work at BuzzFeed.
God.
Where's your business administration stuff now, Jeff? Where is that shit?
I do that in my free time. It comes in all the time.
administrate business in my free time.
It usually happens when I'm troubleshooting my own network at home and I get mad. I'm like, oh god damn it, why did this go down? Or like, why is this syncing? Like, well, I just break it down, troubleshoot.
Troubleshoot this.
So Hyperloop, I talked about it briefly before, but this time there's a real development and it's actually going to happen. And
Testing
it's
starts.
happening this year. It's
Yeah.
later this year. God, how exciting! It's exciting. The future, the real future.
You know, it's funny. We always kind of talk about just like, man, I think that's the entire premise of our show is the fact that it's weird. We're living in the future we dreamt about last year. Like every
Yeah.
year that like it's like it's just man, it's like astounding. Just technology, man. Like whoa, like dang.
Moves quickly.
Moves really
exponentially,
quick.
for some things.
Yeah. So yeah.
Um,
Hyperloop. Would you ride one of those? That sounds horrifying.
It sounds terrifying because I'm like, if something goes wrong, but also they said if there's like, if something gets punctured, the car just slows down like the pod does because the vacuum's not there anymore. And like, they're gonna have like probably different sections and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They say it's actually pretty safe. So we'll see. We'll see. I won't be the first person on it for sure. So we'll let them.
No,
their
we'll
body
volunteer.
test
That'd be funny if we just volunteered you as the first person ever.
Oh man, I don't know if I'd want to do that.
We'll give you a little hard hat.
Like, yeah, that'll really stop me from going from the 700-mile-an-hour to 0. Let's see who's wearing that hat.
Like, oh, thank goodness he was wearing that
Like
hat.
when people wear helmets when they go skydiving. I'm like, what the hell is this all about? That's not gonna help you when you hit the ground.
It's like the TSA of anything. Just like, no, it's just for show.
It really is. It's just for show.
It's just for show, you guys. Just wake up. It's just for show.
So some side trivia on Tesla, on
Mm.
Elon Musk company. So you know how like
well,
so
you know
the-
how like Jeff's favorite thing is like Elon Musk things?
so you know how there's like the Model S, and
Yeah.
then there's going to be the Model X,
Mhm.
and but then there's the Model 3. And why is it like the number 3? So
Three wheels?
What Elon Musk wanted to do is he wanted to spell out the word sexy with his first 4 models of car. Say the Model S, and then he couldn't get Model E because Ford owns the copyright for that from their oldie days of models.
The oldie days.
Yeah. And then he has the Model X, and now he's gonna make the Model Y. So that's why the 3, because the 3, when you put it sideways, looks like an E. So I think that was actually really funny.
That's
I didn't-
idiotic.
I did not catch on to that, but that's pretty funny that he was just like, let's just spell out the word sexy with our cars. And like,
That's just the way I roll.
it was just like, okay, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Oh,
It's
you
kinda-
would. You would.
give it sass to it.
Like, oh, I just want my like children's names to spell out Disney.
Yeah, Disney. If it was just like Walt Disney, like doing that.
Or like all of my kids, they're like, they're like first names all spell out mistake.
You have to have a lot of kids. That'd be the real mistake.
Big mistake. That's the real
Like-
mistake.
Like, oh, we need more characters. Get going with the children. God, if it was Disney, who'd be the I? What would that be? If it was like a boy's name?
Ivan.
Yeah, I guess that kind of works. If you're on
All
was
right,
thinking-
let's wrap this up. I
Yeah.
want to go to bed.
it's late Thursday night here. So you can find if you liked what you heard on the show,
You probably didn't.
and if you're still here with us 46 minutes into this podcast, you're probably liking what you're hearing.
You're such a nerd.
Find more of us
Outside.
at techlaundrypodcast.com. We're available on iTunes. We're available on Stitcher. We're on most every single
Like
podcast
thing.
listing I can find.
But you should totally listen to us on like acast.com.
Bam.
Yeah.
And make sure you don't use an ad blocker, because we will eventually be getting ad revenue, because ads do play at the beginning. and at the
Someday
end.
this show will pay for our burritos. That is just
Indeed.
our goal.
That is the goal. And if you wish to pay directly with your monies to us, give whatever makes sense to our Patreon. Patreon.com/techlaundry. Have our link in the show notes, link on our site. You can see there's a little P there. You click the P, boom.
Look at the P. It's like redesigned by Jeff. All Jeff.
Out of your wallet into our wallets. That should be their company quote. Out of
Right.
your wallet into ours. So yeah, check us out. If you want more of my crazy antics and what's soon to become my BuzzFeed antics, you can follow me at Jeffrey A. Barron on Twitter.
Follow me at Tertius Buffete. I tweet a lot about burritos and how annoying my coworkers are.
He does, and lots of disdain for the
Certain
Yahoo-
publications.
certain publications as well. Is that all? Is that all we have to talk
That's
about
all.
this week? I think that's it. That's all for this week, guys. And until next time,
Ride that Hyperloop.
ride that loop.
Ride that loop.
Getting loopy. That's what they'll call it. Like, bro, did you get looped?
No.
Like, oh,
no,
yeah, I
no,
got
no,
held,
no, no,
bro.
no, 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 no.
That's our future, dude. That's what millennials are gonna say.
That's you who are saying that. You're
know.
literally the most millennial person now.
No, dude. I'm like,
Just take this off live
How old are you?
before it gets real.
I'm gonna be 26 this month.
Oh my god, yay.
Jeez. All right.
Okay.